Hey guys, Dr. Nick.
And Miss Amanda.
And in today's video, we kind of wanted to give you sort of like a flow chart of everything to be thinking about, just sort of where to get started. Because so far, we've covered, the time value of money and thinking about, well, how much is my money worth actually like total, not just the same dollar amount today, as opposed to 20 years from now, that same dollar amount, even though it seems like it'd be the same, because of the time value of money concept, they're actually quite different because you can do things with the money today. We talked a little bit about loans and leveraging debt, as well as credit, how to go about that and what things we recommend. We also talked a little bit about what types of investments to be, kind of thinking about, and then even what types of accounts that you would use for those investments. So a lot of different things, and that's kind of confusing. So we just wanted to maybe put into perspective, just, where do I start?
So let's start by saving. Deciding to take the first steps to saving. Think of it as paying yourself first. Before you pay any of those expenses, make a payment to yourself, bill yourself to save.
Absolutely.
I know it's hard to, get your head wrapped around the fact and the mindset of saving before, paying your bills, but the bills will always be there, and saving for your future is a necessity that you need to get started on now.
Exactly. So how many times have we said, we're both guilty of this, raise a hand. How many times have we said, I'm gonna get started with, project X, Y, or Z. I'm gonna put money aside. I'm gonna start saving this, that. I'm gonna buff up my savings account. And then the end of the month comes and there's no money left over, right? So, we've been there. And so, we've started with saving nothing, and then we've slowly ramped that up as we've gained more and more financial literacy, understanding that it is a necessity, and the frame shift difference between the wealthy and unfortunately people that are not quite there yet is understanding that point is that you need to prioritize yourself first. Put aside that money to be growing your wealth and your financial stability so that you can retire or do whatever the heck it is you want to do. You need to do that first because, like Amanda was saying, the bills are going to be there at the end of the month, and if you don't have enough or if you need more, that is going to light that fire underneath your butt to kind of get out there and either work more, side hustle harder, whatever it takes to set yourself up every month and overall your long term.
And I know people are like, I just don't have the money at the end of the day, but it does not matter the amount. Over time, the amount, again, in some terms, it does affect the total amount, but just starting out, whatever you can do is crucial. If it's $10, $50, whatever it may be, just start saving something.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we can put up the numbers someday for like a fun thought experiment, but a 10 or 12-year-old that puts aside like 10, 20 bucks every month from that age, as opposed to someone in their 50s thinking, oh crap, I gotta retire, and they start putting, plowing in $100 or what have you every single month, even though it's like 10 times more than the kid did, because of the time compounding, you actually will have a lot more again in the first scenario where the kid would have more money. And so we just wanted to emphasize that point is getting started. Doesn't matter how much you start with, does not matter, whatever you can do. So getting started, of course, is the simplest, but also the hardest thing for a lot of us. Not just that, but, realizing, okay, well, I need to start putting money aside. Where do I prioritize that money, right? So what you should be doing first and foremost is making sure that you put aside that money into like a separate savings account that is your emergency fund, okay? Like you need to be putting money aside in case anything crazy would happen. If you were unfortunately to lose your job or some unexpected medical bill, your car breaks down, something, you don't want to have to flip your entire financial scenario or script because of an unexpected bill or something like crazy high that will then cause you to have to take out loans or credit or something like a toxic debt that is actually going to bring you down a lot more than it's going to set you back a number of months is basically what I'm getting at. So that is the top priority. Emergency fund, a lot of people recommend 1 to 3 months or something, especially if you're just getting started out, of expenses. Just set that aside so that in case anything were to happen, you could take from that fund and you don't have to rely on other toxic types of debt.
Yes. And once you have that emergency fund saved, then you can start looking at different ways that you can invest your money, whether it's through a Roth IRA or whatever it is. We don't exactly recommend different stocks unless you know what you're doing, but we definitely recommend a Roth IRA.
Yeah, so talking about the different types of accounts and everything, we did do those videos, so we'll probably link them in the description below, talking about, the different types of accounts, investments to be thinking about, even like how to use credit cards and like loans to your advantage. But I would say even before the investment stage, there's one sort of like special star kind of thing. Not everyone has them, but a lot of people do. Is credit card debt. After you do your emergency fund, definitely the credit card debt, if you do have them, again, not everyone does, but if you do, wipe those out next. Those have to go, because no matter how great of an investment you think you found, it is not going to bring you up as quickly as credit card interest is going to bring you down. It is, fun fact, it's like 20-something% on average that they're actually charging you interest on your credit cards. That is going to bleed you dry. And again, no asset is going to return as much as credit card can bring you down. So after the emergency fund, take care of your credit card debt. If you don't have that, you can, pass go, collect $200. You don't have to worry about that. Go straight into the investment phase, which is the fun part. You get to, start figuring out, where do I put my money and watch it grow. So like Amanda was saying, the Roth IRA, great account. We won't rehash all the things we talked about with those different types of investment accounts. Again, if you want to see those, you can comment below, but also refer to the video that we talked about all those investment accounts. General rule of thumb: Roth IRA, 401k, making sure you get your employer match, and HSA. Those are all great accounts to have. And then on top of that, individual stocks can get you a benefit if you know what you're doing, but if you don't and you don't have to sweat it, total stock market index fund, look up your favorite one. We use VTSAX. We're not telling you to buy that, but we personally do. We like it a lot. And it's a pretty safe investment. It tracks the overall stock market. You don't have to know really anything about how the stock market works, except it goes up over time. So beyond that, I'd say that you'd be pretty solid. You'd be pretty set up, is what I'm getting at, if you were to follow those basic things, because it sounds simple on paper, like that basic flow chart, but it actually takes like months to get that set up properly. And as you start to sort of get more comfortable with what you're doing, you can ramp up how much it is you're investing. But if you have your emergency fund, you've taken care of all your credit card debts, you're slowly increasing how much you're investing into all those things that we talked about. It's actually that's the cool part. You get to see all of your investments grow, and you get to see your net worth grow, and it's the coolest thing ever.
It really is. And just remember to stay committed to it. You can do it. We're doing it, and it's a fun journey. It is.
Yeah, I have a crazy amount of debt to become a physician in the U.S. It's been an interesting journey. I don't regret it for a second. I would not have changed any part of the process. The debt just comes along with the territory, and I plan on wiping all that out. Amanda's taking care of hers as well. We're gonna get into a whole bunch of real estate type debt, but we're gonna use that in a smart way. We're gonna continue doing our investments, and then we're both gonna take care of our parents. And we also plan to retire early, so that we can sort of continue doing the things that we like to do. We can work when we want to, but then also do some of the things that we want to do with our lives. So if that sounds like something that interests you, something you may want to necessarily get into someday, then drop a follow, subscribe, or even ask some questions. We'll try to help you out.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.